Hey guys, Nick here.
And Shan, and today Nick's gonna share a old Greek family recipe.
Hey Shan, have you ever eaten a juicy ripe orange and thought to yourself, I wish I could eat the peel too?
No, I've literally never thought that.
Well, today is the day that you get to learn how to do that.
Oh, do you ever listen to me?
It's in the kitchen. This is one of my favorites. It's Greek-style preserved oranges. I can't even say the word. Also known as glyko, koutaliou, portokalia.
So smash that like button, subscribe, and we'll show you how it's done.
Hey there guys, VoiceOver Nick here. So first things first, we need oranges. We're giving them a clean to, make sure that they're clean. We got these oranges from our friend Kelly's farm the other day. Shan collected pretty much a chicken feed bag full of oranges. So we have oranges for days. For this recipe we need 10 good-sized oranges. Beautiful, juicy, ripe oranges. Like I said, you want good-sized oranges. So we're going to cut them straight down the middle in half. And then we're going to cut them into 6 individual pieces. Now you want to take the orange and you want to take the skin or the peel off the actual flesh of the orange.
Don't get angry.
So do that just by running your finger down it. Try not to break the orange peel. Look, you're going to break a couple here and there, but try to break as few as possible. You want to leave them intact as you can. Keep the bits of orange. You can use those to make marmalade or desserts of other descriptions, or use it for duck à l'orange or something like that. So then you want to take the sharp blade, kitchen knife, and basically scrape the back of the peel. You're doing this for a couple of reasons. You're opening up the peel pores, but you're also scraping off the waxy coating that's on the outside. So make sure you do that till it goes sort of a dull colour. Then just slice off the ends once you flip it over, and because you've scraped the back, it's now nice and flat, which makes it really easy to cut the inside out, or the white off. Now, these oranges are super ripe. When I say super ripe, the actual pith, the white part on the inside of the orange peel, is not very bitter at all. So taste it. If it's not very bitter, you don't have to take too much off. But if it is quite bitter, take heaps off. Get down until you can see the sort of yellowy colour of the peel. So in this case, we're really lucky. These are really ripe oranges. We're at the end of the season at the moment, so they've been on the tree a long time. After you've peeled all the oranges, you put them into a pot of water. Put it on the stove, bring it to the boil. Once it starts to boil, let it simmer for about 10-15 minutes. Taste the water. It'll taste really bitter. Drain the oranges. Put them back in the pot. Fill it with water again. And put it on the stove again. So this is probably going to take, look, for our oranges, this took 3 goes, as you're about to see. If you've got fairly young oranges and they're a little bit bitter in the peel still, this is going to take a while. It could take 8 to 10 boils. Leave them overnight if they're really bitter after about 5, and then do another few in the next day. That'd be my recommendation. But yeah, we did 3 and ours came out really sweet. So you'll taste the water. The water will change taste as the bitterness comes out of the peel. You will be able to tell the difference. I don't know how to explain it, but it makes a little pinch in the back of your throat, or back of your jaw sort of thing. So we're good now. This is the last drain. Shan's gonna use some cold water to cool them off. This is so that we can handle them, because they're obviously at 100 odd degrees. Roll them up. So basically just roll them up like a I don't know, like a Swiss roll, I suppose, if you know what that is. So roll it up and stick a skewer through it, or a toothpick in this case. My father tells me that he normally stitches them together on a piece of thread, which makes them very easy to remove from the syrup at the end. I personally like the stick method. I think it does a good job. Look how quick she does it. So you might have a couple of bits left over that broke. Don't stress about those. Use those as testers. So now, weigh the amount of orange peel you have. This whole recipe is not based on actual amounts. It's based on ratios. So if you've got 300 grams of orange peel like we have, put 600 grams of sugar into your pot. So 1 part orange peel to 2 parts sugar. That's 600 grams of sugar. We then stick half a vanilla bean in for this amount. Obviously scale it up as you go. I like cutting it in half. It lets the seeds come out. I like the vanilla bean seeds floating through my syrup. It just looks fancy, I think. Then we're going to put a cinnamon stick in. This is a very big cinnamon stick, so I'm putting half of it in. And the juice of half a lemon. So then to this, as we remember, this whole recipe is based on ratios. So 1 part orange peel, 2 parts sugar, 4 parts water. So in this case we've gone 1200 ml of water, which is 1200 grams of water, and we transfer the whole thing over the stove. We'll stir that continuously until it's dissolved. Once it's dissolved, just let it come up to the boil, and once it's at the boil, we'll move on from there. We add the orange peel to the boiling sugar water. You don't have to be too careful about this, but obviously make sure you don't dislodge the toothpicks and try not to get splashed by that water. It will be much higher than 100 degrees. So just basically let that cook down. If you're finding that the orange peels are floating above the surface of the liquid, stick a pot lid or a dinner plate in your pot to hold them down under the water or under the liquid, because the ones that float above won't absorb as much of the liquid and won't cook down as fast. You want this to cook down for as long as possible, so let it take its time. Turn the heat down all the way, and just let it simmer away. We've just added a little bit more syrup that we had left from another batch into that just there, so it's obviously stopped the boil right up, but that'll come back up very quickly. So now we're just going to take our time, let them float about for a bit, and come back up to the boil. We're going to back up at a beautiful rolling simmer there. Now, there's one thing that you will have to do as you go through this. Once it starts to simmer again, once you put the orange peels in, you'll find that some foamy scum will appear on top. This foamy scum, you have to get rid of it. If you don't, it'll crystallize your final product. Scoop that froth and foam out. But here we are. This is 2.5 hours later, I believe. Yep. Don't stir too hard. And this is how we check to see that it's at the right consistency. So you get your spoon and you basically just drip it onto a cold plate. If it forms into a little dome like what you see here, spot on, you're perfect, you've done a good job. If it spreads out really thin, like water, like the bit at the bottom there that you might have just caught, you need to go for a bit longer. So just bear that in mind. That's a really easy way of telling what you got to do. And then transfer them into some sterilised, clean glass jars. Take toothpicks out, obviously, before you start, because if you don't, you won't be able to get as many in. And basically, you want to essentially cram as many as you can in. Here we go. I was testing out the hyperlapse function of my camera. It didn't work as well as I thought it would. So now, once you've put all the orange peel into all the jars, spoon the syrup over the top. And you want to fill this all the way up. You want to make sure that the syrup goes above the highest point of the orange peel. Once you seal these, so you seal these straight up while they're hot, they will seal themselves quite tightly, and as we said, they'll keep for a while. So here they are, all done.
So if you like the look of these, hopefully you'll give them a crack yourself and let us know how you go.
They're not that difficult to make.
No, it's more time consuming than anything. Yeah. So it takes a bit of time. But
expect to spend 2 to 4 hours doing a batch, but well worth it. These are absolutely delicious. They've sealed themselves, which is really good, so they'll keep for a really long time.
Look at the cool little curls.
They're so cool.
Ooh. They're very tasty. You'll want to eat them all at once, but they are quite sugary, so perhaps don't.
They are friggin' delicious. We would eat them, but they are sealed and we'd like to give them away. But take our word for it. We ate them as they were coming out of the pot. They are friggin' delicious. You have to try this. If you like oranges, it tastes like orange cake, doesn't it?
It does. It does. It tastes like, what's that called? Madeira? Madeira
cake, does it?
Is orange. Orange cake.
It's delicious. Try it.
Maybe.
If you don't think you can do it, trust me, you can. It's really, really easy. It's just time consuming.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, you know all that jazz.
Hit the bell button.
Yeah, get notifications every week.
Ding.
And we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
No, punch it hard. Oh,